So hello sir, in the last video I was talking about like how to use decorators on different types of parameters, accessors, on properties. So that's what we were talking about. So I showed you like how we can use decorators. Like here I've shown how to use on two properties, how to use on this accessor, how to use on this method and this parameter as well. So that's what I showed you. And now today we'll be talking about like how to return, like some decorators are capable of returning something. But before that I want to come with my last example only, like when decorators execute. So I want to talk about that. So decorators execute when we define a class, they are not decorators that run at runtime when you call that method, or when you work with a property. This is now what they do. So instead instead these decorators instead these decorators allow us to get the additional behind the scenes setup work and when the class is defined. So decorators helps to set up the behind the scenes, okay, when the class is defined. So basically decorators execute when we define a class. Also they help in doing behind the scenes work, like adding extra functionality or something like that. So that's how we can use the decorators for our advantage to add some extra functionality, do behind the scenes work. So they basically execute when we define a class, not when we instantiate it. Okay, so that's how, like, that's the logic of how the decorators execute. Now I'm going to talk about like how decorators are capable of returning something. like Basically we are returning a decorator, sorry, we are returning a class inside a decorator function. Okay, so that's what we'll be doing now. So I'll be showing that with an example here. So here you can see this is our first decorator, logger. We have nothing to do with that. Now here my this is my with template decorator from which I added this my person object, like this h1 tag, to my HTML. So this is the logic, that was the logic that I wrote here. Here I made some changes. First of all, these things are the same. Okay, then below that I have added this return function. Okay, so this is the function that my decorator is returning. Okay, so this is my original decorator function, and then inside this we are like returning our original class, we can say our original class. We are saving that and then modifying, making changes in that according to us accordingly, so that we can use it for our benefit. So like this would add an extra functionality to it. Okay, so like um this is the return function that I created, and inside that I have given this generic type here. Okay, that I talked about in last videos, what are generic types. So here I have added this generic type t, which extends to, here I have added a new argument. Okay, which extend to new, and inside that I have added this parameter argument to any type of array. Okay, so here giving these arguments inside our like this generic type. Okay, and function as well, and it should return a name that should be in a string. Okay, so basically this max should be returned here. And now inside my this function, um, we are defining a original constructor name, and we are storing the value of t inside this original constructor. And then after that, this is the second class that we are like returning. So that's what I told, that some decorators are capable of returning something. So this is returning a class, a new class we are returning here. Okay, so here I have defined like return class, which extends to original constructor. Okay, that I have defined here. Okay, you can see parameter original constructor. This is what this is our argument. This is our generic function t, which extends to our argument. This is the function. Okay, this is the whole thing, and it is pointing to this, and this whole value is calling and storing in this original constructor. So inside this I have called my constructor, and here I have like given this underscore argument, so that it, because we are not using this anywhere, so we are just giving this argument which is valid, but we cannot use it. If I suppose I add something here like name or anything, then it will give us an error like name is not defined or something like that. Okay, like this thing is not used, something like that it will give. So that's why we have used underscore here, and then I have defined that it should be of type array, the value that we are calling. Okay, array, any type of array, and inside this I have called this super thing. So what does this super thing do, this super function, what is it is doing? So it is basically saving our original class, this original class it is saving, so that we can run our decorator without in what was that, without instantiating our original class. Okay, without instantiating this thing. Okay, this class, without calling this person class. Okay, so we can do that so that like in using super function, this thing will be saved, and further, because we are saving this because we want to use it further. So after saving this, okay, we are adding some arguments for our benefit. Like here I am console logging rendering template, so that I can know that when it is running, and then the same arguments that I like added before to print this h1 tag. Okay, so now what will happen when I just when I don't instantiate this and run it. Wait a second. Integrated terminal. Okay, why it is like this? psc pscw. Inspect. Huh. So basically when we remove that person thing, where was it? Yeah, when we didn't instantiate this, we can see when we instantiate this, what we can see, sorry, we can see that max is printing here. Okay, and when we do inspect element console log, sorry, console of we can see here it is, here our rendering template is running, here this creating person object is running. So we can say that without instantiating, like with instantiating, this thing is happening and max is printing out here. And when we like comment this out, we did not instantiate this. Yeah, see, max is gone. And what are the other changes here? We can see that that thing is gone, whole thing is gone. Okay, our whole this function, this decorator is gone, right? Template factory is also not printing out there. Is it printing out there? Yeah, only template factory is printed out there. Logger factory, template factory, and logging. Okay, so this thing is printing because as I told you before, that what happens when we use this what is the name? Yeah, when we use decorators, it run when we define the class only. It runs, and uh, and when the class is instantiated, then only we can see the parameters to be running. Before that, this thing is printing, and inside this we have added a return function, and I have added a class that is returning uh, with um, with the original class on the background. So when we don't instantiate this thing, we can see that only our decorators are running and not the class that is stored inside this. So that's how, like, we can use this. So like so what is the conclusion of this? Like hence we added an extra logic that should run when the class is instantiated. So that's how we can add a logic. Okay, we have added this extra logic here. This is the extra logic that does not run. This extra, we can add logic that does not run when the class is defined, but when the class is instantiated. This is a very important thing. Okay, it does not run when the class is defined, but when the class is instantiated, it is running. When the class is defined, oh sorry, okay, you can see it is like running. Oh, okay. I just told you the opposite. Yeah. So this extra logic is it does not run when the class is defined, but when the class is instantiated, then only it runs. So this is our, like, uh, this is an like this is how we can use decorators for our advantage. Okay, in Angular as well. So this is a great first example um, of the full power you can unleash with decorators. Okay, and now I'll be showing you some more examples for this. So like now uh, I have shown you like how to like return, like how to return a value to a inside a decorator with which type. Like I showed you that in class we can return a class in the decorator. Okay, we can return one more one more property which gives us an additional functionality. So with which other properties we can do this? So like before, I have like defined this four things here, like property, this is my accessor, and this is my method, and this is my parameter. So we can use this returnable thing with method as well as accessor. Okay, but not with a property or a parameter. If suppose if we try to return an additional argument or additional functionality with these decorators, we will not get the JavaScript will not return anything. Okay, so that's why we can only use the return types on accessor as well as methods. So I'll be showing you that, but before that, if we use like this return time of this on this property descriptor, suppose I have like added a return type here, property descriptor only. Okay, inside that I return something. Inside this I can return my get property. Sorry. Before doing this, comment this out. Comment this out. Okay, I can't comment the whole thing out, so delete this. Firstly, I will show you that what is coming in output, and then we will see. In you can see in X, this is our accessor decorator, and inside this is our like property. So what it is doing? Where is the object then? Okay. So here it is returning a value like get price with text. This is the value. Okay, wait, let me see the object. Okay, we are storing a value. This property is enumerable as well. Okay, so these are the arguments that are stored in our prototype, and here we can return any type of argument that we want. Here suppose a get argument, okay, a set argument, a commutable argument, okay, enumerable argument as well, but it does not do any good in this accessor type decorator. So I will show you that in this method decorator, like how we can use that in this. Also one more thing, like this property descriptor, this thing, this is a property that is used in vanilla JavaScript. Okay, so it is defined like that, which I showed you in the console here. Like this is how it is defined. Okay, like here is the prototype. This is what that property descriptor do in vanilla JavaScript. So like this is suppose this is my class. I have added a new class printer here, and I have to print this message. This works, and this is my show message method I am using here, and then here I am calling this message here, and here I have instantiated new printer const p dot show message, and for that too, and here like using the traditional JavaScript only, like const button equals document dot query selector button dot evaluation, and then here we can use the traditionally we can use the bind method, like bind method to bind this thing. Okay, bind this thing to our class and then execute this method as well. But other than that, we can also create a decorator that can help us in doing this. How? I will show you that. Suppose here I have added my decorator. Now I will show you that what decorator I have created and what it is returning. Okay. Okay, so now this is my I'm defining a decorator auto bind, and this first parameter I am giving, first parameter is target. So we don't want to use target, so I have like kept it empty, and it can be of any type. And second thing, the name that we also don't want to use here for the example, so I have kept it like underscore 2. So this means that we are defining it but we are not using its value, so it can be a string or anything. Now this is a important thing, that descriptor with the property descriptor like thing in the traditional vanilla JavaScript. So we are using that to create this additional functionality to the button and the method to our method class. Now here I have created this const original method equals to descriptor dot value. So this will save my original method value. Okay, this have my original value, the original function, original class value, and the method value. And now I have created this another adjacent descriptor, adj descriptor, and it will store my new object like that I want to return. this will store that. So here it is property descriptor equals to, like, this is how we define object, and then inside it I can give the arguments that I want to use. As I told you that this property descriptor has some arguments in JavaScript, so we can write that it should be configurable or not, so we can select configurable and then define it as true or false, and if we want to be in it to be enumerable, like to use the for loop or not, then we can use this for true or false value here as well, like boolean. And now here I am calling my get method. Here I am calling my getter here, and then inside it I'm calling a constant bound function, and here I'm binding, like here all my things is happening, like here I'm getting the value of the from this original method to bind to this thing, and then run this and then print this works. Here we are returning that function, and at the last we are returning our adjacent descriptor, that is the new, like the new what we can say, the new method that we created, or the new uh, class or object that we created here. Okay, so here I am calling that. So basically what we have done is that I have saved. So like now when we call a decorator on this method, so that it will automatically binds to the surrounding class, um, so that the object, when every time it is called, no matter where we call it, okay, like this will always refer to the object on which we define the getter, or the object which we originally defined the method. So this is what is happening here. Okay, this will always refer to the object on which um, we define the getter. Okay, and or the object which we originally defined to the method. Okay, so this is the argument that we are returning. This is the thing we are returning, and then we are binding, calling this auto bind decorator on our method, so that this original method, like we can use this original method to add some more functionality to it. So here that's what we have finally done here. And when we run this, suppose I terminate this thing, delete, and when I open this in utility terminal, dsc, okay, terminate live server, you can see click me is there. When we click it, you can see this works is printing out here. Okay, this works is printing out here, so we can see it is successfully working. So we can do this, or we can just use the bind function that is used in traditional JavaScript. From here we can call that. So we can use both things, but this is how we can use um, like a decorator on a method. So these are all the like the decorators is completed. Now I will move on to the Angular course, and I will try to finish it as soon as possible while learning it properly and practicing it as well. So thank you, sir. I'll be covering the rest of the part in the rest of the thing in the next video.